it's Dr. Toya here, and welcome to the By Default Highlight Reel, where we highlight our business owners by bringing you videos and interviews so that they can tell their stories in their own words. Please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more episodes. I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Toya here, and I am joined by Coach Christina, the founder and CEO of J2M Fitness. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Before we talk more about J2M and what you do, please tell our viewers a little bit more about you.
So my name is Christina, AKA my IG handle is at Coach My Wife Life, but I just go by Coach Christina. I am a wife. I'm a mom of three. Their ages 5, 3, and 11 months old.
Wow.
And my family obviously is my main focus, but my business is my other baby. I call J2M my baby. So I'm the founder and CEO of J2M Fitness, which stands for Journey to Motherhood Fitness.
Yes. Lovely. So tell me a little bit more about Journey to Motherhood Fitness. What exactly do you do?
Okay, so I am, like I said, the founder and I'm the coach there, but I work primarily with moms who are postpartum, meaning moms who have already had a baby and or maybe they're trying to conceive and they already have their first kid, they're trying to conceive their second, third, so on, so on. So moms who are trying to navigate fitness and health and wellness as moms, because a lot of us don't know what we're doing and we're caught off guard by what the reality of health, wellness, and fitness appears to be like. You know, a lot of us have these outdated expectations. So what I do is help moms to understand not only how to, of course, rehab your core, feel your best, eat well, all that kind of stuff, but also a lot of mindset work and life coaching to really understand, like, where do you actually make time for yourself?
Yeah.
How do you prioritize yourself? Because it's very easy to become a mom and look around and, there's no free time.
Yeah.
A lot of us as moms now don't have traditional support, especially now with our quote unquote new normal. So my job is to show moms what they can do and how they can do it in a way that's not overwhelming so they can actually take care of themselves and their families.
Yeah, you're speaking to me on a whole different level there. So tell me, take me back. How did you get into, creating this business? What was your why?
So good question. So my why would actually be my first pregnancy and postpartum experience with my daughter, who she'll be 6 this year, actually. Going back to when I was pregnant with her, when I first started exercising, people around me were looking at me crazy. They were telling me, like, don't work out, you're doing too much. And so that was initially where it started, where there were so many myths and all this fear and confusion around pregnancy, which is back in 2016. So it seemed like, okay, this is current times. People still don't know that much about pregnancy and exercise, right?
Yeah.
So I knew, with my background working in fitness, I've been working as a fitness instructor for over 10 years. So I said, with my fitness background, I want to stay active, but how do I do that? So I started going into researching. I got certified in pre and postnatal fitness. And then when I became a first-time mom, that's when I got caught off guard. And I was like, this is way more than anybody told me. Like a lot of moms, I thought, okay, I'm a fitness coach. I know what I'm doing. I know what to eat. I was like, I'm going to have this baby. And once upon a time, I was like, I'm going to bounce back and have this baby. The baby came, there was breast milk, there was no sleep. I was trying to figure out what's going on. And then I was like, this is crazy. And I'm going to take a step back and make sure, I can just do this step by step, bit by bit. So some of the things that I went through, I was like, I hope that moms don't go through the same experience and feel like they don't have the support. They don't understand where to begin. They don't know how to progress safely. So all the things I didn't know and I wanted answers for, I said, I'm going to pour this into my own business and make sure that moms can, from day one, if they want support, say, look, I need help, and they can actually get what they need.
Yeah. And, it's funny what you said. You became certified and then you had a baby and it was like, whoa, I did not know what I was talking about.
I did not.
The same thing for me. I am an OBGYN. I do this, right? And then I have my child. I was like, what was I telling these people? Why am I giving anybody advice? It's so crazy how that works.
It's crazy. There's no manual, there's no guide. And that's why I decided to go the coaching route. Yeah. So, I do offer programs like the core rehab program. People can just buy that online, but I decided to focus on coaching because when it comes to the fitness portion, like in your case, you're working, you're trying to balance home life, again, when do you exercise? How do you keep it going? How do you keep it to where it makes sense and you're not burned out and overwhelmed, right? So a lot of us have a lot of moving parts that we don't talk about. It just seems it's easy to just say, oh, just work out.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we need to work out. But again, I also work with a lot of moms who they're navigating, postpartum depression, anxiety, other health considerations, clients who maybe they had high risk pregnancies and now they're trying to trust their bodies again, right? So all of those things as moms and as women, they throw a curveball at us. And even with all like I said, and what I know, it doesn't matter. When you have your own kid, there's no manual from instruction. So you're like, oh, okay. There's no cheat sheet, there's no cheat code. It's a learning process. And my job is to help moms navigate through that process without getting consumed by all of its realities and challenges.
Yeah. That's amazing that you provide that service. So thank you for that. I know I definitely could have used that when I was immediately postpartum. So tell me a little bit more the details of how the program works. So if somebody signs up with you for coaching, what exactly do they get?
So someone who's working with me will get, so first and foremost, of course, J2M Motherhood Fitness LLC. So it is fitness. So you look at an actual fitness program that is customized for your fitness level. And with postpartum specifically, it includes the core rehab, the appropriate modifications, and everything is already done for you. So that way you can progress safely without thinking through things. So I basically designed the program for moms. So you're not having to Google research, just figure out where you are. I do the intake, fear assessment. I'll create the program for you. All I got to do is just go straight through it, and we'll make sure that you have your weekly goals to go through what works for you and your lifestyle. Okay. Also, of course, nutrition is important. So, feeling your body to feel good. So a lot of moms are like, oh, lose weight. And I'm like, that's great. And my clients are seeing awesome results, but that's always secondary for me. The first thing is like eating, sleeping, hydrating. Moms who are breastfeeding, are we eating enough? How are you feeling? So feeling our bodies. And of course, also though, the mindset piece and lifestyle portion are really important. Like, making sure we're setting goals realistically. People tend to think about fitness as like, I got to jump back into where I was. And I'm like, okay, before we do all that, let's just, like step one, we're just going to walk and we're going to do some breathing, it's like understanding how to help moms find those smaller milestones. A lot of that gets into the mindset work. Because some of us are like, we have the baby, I'm ready to go. I'm like, let's just walk. That's it. Like, just take it, right? And again, the life stuff is also part of it too, like taking time to understand. Again, let's talk about your day-to-day life, your schedule. Let's talk about your realities, your challenges. And we have to talk through those things and map out a plan of action. I'm really big on actionable steps. When you leave here, you need to have answers and clarity and know what to focus on. Because again, if you're just walking around saying, I'm gonna work out one day, what day is that? What day is that? What times work for you? So again, let's be realistic and figure out what works and what feels good. And that way you can focus in on, okay, I'm doing my 15 minutes in the morning, I'm getting a stroller, and then I'm going to come home and do whatever the case is, right? So just making sure that moms really, we can sort through a lot of things and make them as simple and concrete as possible. So you can just hone in on, I'm showing up for me and pouring into my family and not feeling spread thin.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how long is this program?
So the program right now is set up for a month window, and clients, of course, will continue beyond that point. I've had a lot of clients that have been there for quite some time. And so again, there's the core rehab program you can grab offline. You can just grab it, click it, and that's set up in 4 to 6 week increments to purchase as you go, or to go straight through the whole thing in the bundle. Usually the core rehab takes about 3 to 6 months, depending on where you are in your fitness journey. But again, with the coaching programs, that's a 4-month window is where I start with moms, because it takes time to go from, I don't know where I am, to, building a routine. Again, there's building routine, learning how to feel your body. And again, doing it in a way that makes sense for you. So there's no like printouts of the meal guide. It's like, no, we're going to work backwards. I'm going to get to know you. And then we're going to go through this, and I'm going to help you create this program.
Oh, that's perfect. Sounds like it's very specialized to the client, which is really important because everybody's different. So
it is customized, yes.
Yeah. So is there a specific amount of time? So you have to be 2 weeks postpartum to start, or do you take moms at all times?
Any portion of their journey. So good question. And again, Obviously, if someone just had a baby, there's a misconception like, oh, we're not going to jump in and do like a 60 minutes
Yeah.
cardio, right? But someone can be literally, from the time you literally deliver until whenever you start your journey, you can begin with very gentle exercises early on. So like even those early weeks, the first week or two, you can start rehabbing your core with the proper breath. You know, you can start doing the pelvic floor exercises. And the same way that the doctors will say you can just get up and walk around.
Yeah.
We're not saying to go sign up for a marathon. We're just saying you can get in your stroller for a few minutes, maybe it's 15, 20 minutes to begin and just do a walk to get your blood flowing. But also it's really good for our mental health to get out the house, right? So around the time that moms typically are clear to just do light movement is when I say begin. But you can honestly begin as early as in the hospital. So I just encourage moms to start whenever they're ready. Like there's no, obviously there's complications that's different. So every case by case, right? So if someone has different considerations, like I said, if someone has had a complicated pregnancy, like all those things, I go through the intake with clients first to make sure I understand a starting point. But even clients who have medical considerations, there's a lot that you actually can do. Yeah. And a lot be done at home, you know, and or outside if you want to be outside for fresh air.
Right. Oh, that's another thing I was going to ask. So everything, do you have to have a bunch of like equipment and things like that to do the fitness?
No. So what I did was I created everything for moms who, when I first started this business, I would sometimes go to the gym, but I found it was hard to get to the gym. So like, again, my mindset as a fitness coach was like, I'm gonna go to the gym. That's my plan before the game. Pre-baby plan. It was, I'm gonna go to the gym 6 days a week. I'll get up early. The baby came. I was like, who's want to watch this baby? Right. And so what would happen was I might get to the gym at most like 2 or 3 times a week, but I was like, how can I keep this going? I was like, I got to work at home. I got to get outside. I started doing home workouts and stroller workouts. And so when I founded J2M, I was like, this is for the moms who, if you can't get to the gym, that's cool. But it's for the moms who are like, I need to work out, and whether I have childcare or not, whether I get to the gym or not, I need something that works for me. So all the programs are home-based or flexible if you want to be out and about. Minimal equipment. The core rehab program is literally just a mat. That's all you need, no equipment. And the other programs are just, you know, dumbbells, a set of bands, and a mat. Like there's nothing complicated about them, because we got to make sure things, again, are very simple and you can do them anywhere, and also be flexible around your schedule. You know, you're trying to bring around bedtime, nap time, when the kids wake up, you know, go outside or whatever. I did the best I could to make sure that programs are, you know, not no excuses because they're realities, but just you don't need much. If you want to do it, then you can, because you don't have to worry about going to the gym and doing none of that.
None of those barriers. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to talk more about, because I know this is important for moms, all moms, about the core, and the importance of working your core before you start doing a whole bunch of other things. So can you speak to why that's particularly important?
Okay, really important. So such a layered topic, but I would say 2 things. One, you can rehab your core while exercising, but you have to modify. So I'm glad you pointed that out, because a lot of moms, what they do, they're trying to rush to get back to pre-baby. They're trying to rush to the camps, trying to rush to those fitness classes, trying to rush to do what they used to do, right? But that stuff's not going anywhere. So again, starting out, you may be doing walking, a lot of low impact. You can still do strength training, but you have to start, you know, with body weight exercises first, then add, like, you know, so progressing safely, right? But it's so important that we rehab our core, not just our abdominal muscles, but also our pelvic floor muscles are a part of our core unit. A lot of moms, I think, forget that. It's kind of like, oh, as long as I get my belly flat, or, you know, they're about their belly and the exterior, but really it's like, one, we're trying to heal. You just had a baby, right? There's a whole hole, and you know more than I do. There's a hole in your body. So first of all, let's just focus on that hole that we're trying to heal. Okay?
Yes.
So mentally, physically, emotionally, trying to heal internally. And that's why, like the breathing, for example, that's a part of your healing process, right? Pelvic floor exercise. We're trying to do things internally first and foremost. And for your mind, just light movement to keep going. But you don't want to skip steps, because if you, let's say, let's just say if you're like 6 months postpartum, right? But you never rehabbed your core, and now you do go back to the gym and jump to a boot camp class, right? And we hear it all the time. There was a big controversy about it online the other day. Like, well, I pee all the time when I jump, and I'm like, that's not
okay.
That's not okay. Like, I'm not saying you feel bad about it. A lot of women don't know that, but a lot of moms are accepting, like, oh yeah, I leak when I cough. I'm like, that's a sign that you haven't done the internal healing. Right. So part of it is, of course, safety and exercise, but also it's really just about us healing, progressing, feeling our best, and not accepting the leaking and the low back pain and, some of the other issues that arise when we don't actually heal postpartum first.
Yeah. And I don't think I understood it from the clinical standpoint, the importance of having a strong pelvic floor. I think it's only when I was pregnant, it connected that, oh, this is part of my deep core. Like, that's where your deep core is. And I don't think it ever clicked to me. And I don't think a lot of people are aware of that it's, all one thing that will, like you said, affects your lower back. It affects your leaking. You're going to come back and see me because you're leaking when you could, see Christina and not leak.
Yeah. And it's such a simple process too. People, and now obviously if someone is having, like, first of all, it never hurts for people to go see a pelvic floor therapist to do it. It's always a great starting point. So it's like, people go to their OBGYNs, see the pelvic floor therapist, do a core rehab program. All those things work in conjunction. So I'm not saying to skip those steps, but even if you see a pelvic floor therapist, they're going to tell you to do exercises. Right. Like you can't skip that part, right? Right. You're going to come back to the exercise anyway. So let's make sure we're doing this, because again, like you said, it's like people think about their core as their abs, the superficial layer, but your pelvic floor muscles are a part of that. Even your hip flexors are a part of your core unit. Like, your core unit runs from literally the top of your rib cage all the way to your panty liner area. That entire unit is a part of your core unit. So that's why the core rehab is important. That's why when I design the client programs, I also include hip mobility and other things that they're not as exciting to see on social media, but they're important. Because if your hips and your low back and, again, all these different things are not coordinating how they should, then that's when everyday life becomes not unbearable. But again, there's moms that are secretly struggling right now, or accepting things that are not acceptable again. And even the moms, like I said, who are in pelvic floor therapy, I have clients who are or were in intensive pelvic floor therapy, and the exercise actually helps with their progress. So, the exercise is a really important piece of how we heal, progress, and continue to, like I said, feel our best.
Yeah. And it does take some patience, because those deep pelvic floor exercises, they feel like you're not doing anything. Like, you could, it's not like the sexy, like you said, Instagram exercises where people like jumping through the place.
There's no yoni balls. Like, it's just a really concentrated. I mean, you can buy it if you want to, but it's really a concentrated thing. And that's where the mindset comes in. Like, you actually connecting with your body. It's a mind-body connection, and you learning how to relearn some muscles that have had a lot of pressure on them, a lot of trauma to deliver that baby. Whether you're leaking or not, it doesn't matter. You're still learning your body when it comes to the core rehab portion. So it is definitely, it's not the most exciting thing. People try to make it like super hype. It doesn't always seem exciting, but it's really important, because I'm saying, oh, I have low back pain. I'm like, okay, let's talk about your core. Right. People don't equate the low back pain with the core, and that's really what it is. It's not your back. It's you're strengthening your core. So, and again, there's so many different scenarios, but literally, our core unit is the foundation of everything we do, and every day. When you have kids, you got backpacks, you got the snacks, you got the stroller, you trying to lift the baby, the car seat. And if your core is not functioning properly, now you're putting more wear and tear on your body. Yeah,
it's crazy the things you have to go through. Oh my gosh. And one thing I didn't want to mention as well, and I know you're acutely aware of this, is that people think that if they have a C-section, the pelvic floor isn't as traumatized as if you had a vaginal delivery, when just the weight of the baby, that is enough. Yeah,
absolutely. The baby has been sitting on your pelvic floor muscles for however long you're pregnancy. Some of us delivered earlier than others. People also have a misconception that you can't rehab your core after C-section. So I'm a VBAC mom, actually. I had a C-section and then 2 VBACs. So those of you watching, a VBAC is a vaginal birth.
I was going to ask you to say what it was.
Yeah. So, okay. Those of you wondering. So my first baby, she was a C-section. Then I had a vaginal birth, another vaginal birth. So VBAC is vaginal birth after cesarean. That's a term we use here. And when I had the C-section, being cut open is not fun. Like, that was definitely an intense, it took me much longer to rehab my core the first time, because you have an actual internal cut. People think it's like, oh, a couple of weeks. That's a lie. It takes months for that incision to really heal and everything like that, right? But the core rehab was still important for all 3 of my pregnancy and postpartum journeys. So like, even though I had a vaginal delivery, I still had to rehab my core. So it doesn't matter whether how you deliver is not, like you said, with the pregnancy in this case, like VBAC or C-section, rehab is very important for your core and pelvic floor unit. I did not push my daughter out vaginally, but I still did the breath work. I still did the pelvic floor exercises, because again, that's just a part of how we take care of ourselves. And I want to be clear, not everyone needs the exercise, the same one. So you got to figure out what works for you. It's important not to skip steps and make sure you understand what you need for your body. Someone who's saying, for example, like, I have overactive pelvic floor muscles. If they want to see a specialist about it, then they wouldn't be doing, for example.
Exactly.
They would need to relax their pelvic floor muscles, and they would need to relax those hip flexors. That'd be a little bit of a different process. But the bottom line is, you got to take time after you have your baby or your babies, take time to learn your body, so you're not down the road. And it happens all the time. I've had women they have 3, 4, 5, 6, even teenagers. People, women right now who have teenagers, and they still have been leaking, like, oh, I never knew this was a thing, and they're just now doing it. So the good news too, though, if there's any moms watching, it's never too late for you to go back and rehab your core and address those things. But if you're someone watching right now, if you're leaking, if you're feeling low back pain, if you're noticing that you have separation in your core that was never addressed, address it. It's not too late. It's never too late.
That's an important message, and I know you just helped somebody out there, so thank you. So I want to switch gears and talk more about the business side of it, because you are a small business owner. You are a Black small business owner, and we'd love to see it. So tell me, what are some of the challenges you have had in having this business?
So I would say the biggest challenge, obviously, with our new normal, quote unquote, has been, even though I am an online-based business, and I can do everything online and virtual, which is really awesome. And that's what I love about it. I can literally meet moms where they are. I can do everything and make sure it works for you and your lifestyle at home, right? But initially, there's a challenge going through a learning curve to figure out how to navigate COVID and what this means and a timeline. We're thinking 2 weeks.
Right.
And
here we are.
Like, for 2 weeks. Okay. So that's her. And meanwhile, it was a whole different, just pivoting for really everyone in their businesses, right? For me, the challenge has been in this past couple of years, understanding not just my business, but how to really navigate and pivot in a way that makes sense for moms. So making sure we're constantly keeping moms at the forefront. So obviously we each have different circumstances and considerations, but for example, I am home-based. I spend the majority of my time at home with my children. So these are the women that I'm serving too. Like, if you're someone like me who doesn't send your kids to school, if you're homeschooling, now moms they're homeschooling moms or work at home moms, or maybe they, are entrepreneurs like myself, right? How do I make sure that I'm showing up for women and keeping them accountable without overwhelming them? Because so many moms right now, women have left their jobs and come home. People have gone back and forth in the office. Some moms are starting new careers. Like, a lot of women are completely in different spaces from where they were, so making tougher decisions about childcare, et cetera. So there's no right or wrong, but the bottom line is I had to take a step back and say, how do I really make sure that these programs are 100% holding you accountable and encouraging you without overwhelming you? And so I definitely had to go to the drawing board a couple of times in the past 2 years and just say, okay, I'm going to do this again in a way that I think is going to make sense, and not being afraid to say, what, even though I like this, we're going to do this instead, and just pivoting my business again, because the programs for me are client-centered, and it needs to make my clients.
No, I can tell everything you say you tell you're about moms, and that is wonderful to see, especially my profession. You have a special place in my heart for what you're doing. So I love it. Yeah. So tell me, on the flip side, what has been one of your biggest wins thus far since you've been in business?
I would definitely say the core rehab program has been awesome to see, because it's one of those things that, first of all, people hear about core rehab and DR and, diastasis, those words are just like floating around social media. So for a long time, I kind of avoided it because I'm like, well, everybody's still, doing this. But it's just been such a critical program. Like, it's been it's such a small piece of what I do, to be honest. Like, I do so much work besides that. But it's been such a life-changing program when I see clients coming in and just seeing that the program works, number one, but more importantly, moms that are building confidence, they're regaining strength, they're not leaking anymore, the low back pain is gone. And but seeing the transformations, the pictures are cute, but like hearing the transformations, seeing moms, experiencing the confidence and joy that comes with it. But also just knowing that I have opportunity to do something that is really beneficial for other women. And it's so simple. Like, I worked really hard, like I said, to create a program that you just follow it through and step by step. You don't have to stress about it. It's only 15, 20 minutes a few times a week, and you just do it and you're done and you get what you need. And so I'm really proud of that work, and I'm, going to continue pushing something that I know it works. Like it hasn't failed a single client. And I'm like, if you just put that 15, 20 minutes in, all you got to do. No overwhelm, no fancy equipment. Moms, we tend to do a little bit too much sometimes. We try to overcommit and make it off. Like, don't complicate anything. Just click and follow the instructions. And that's it. And so I kept trying to do different things, but I'm like, it works. It works. So
it works.
It works.
So do you serve clients from all over the country, possibly all over the world, or is it just like location specific?
No, I do. Everything is online and virtual. So obviously from a scheduling standpoint, I got to be look at times for the calls. So I do a hybrid of small group and one-on-one calls around people's schedule, but I do offer them at different times of day. So typically it's not an issue. So to answer your question, it is, open to anyone who's interested. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, but I've had clients predominantly here in the US, but I definitely have also had clients in Canada and other places. So it's not bound to any particular region.
Cool, because I'm thinking of some people. So I have some referrals for you.
Okay, awesome. Send them my way. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the beauty of online. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's, it's a blessing and a curse, but mostly, it's been a blessing. So yeah. So I ask everyone, what does it mean to you to be a Black business owner?
It means everything. I think it's just, for me, the thing that comes to my mind would just be like, it's groundbreaking, it's revolutionary. It's obviously, it's not easy. Just like, it's not easy, it has challenges. Like, you got to really love what you do. But for me, it's, I guess, about just breaking barriers. Like, in my mind, when I am showing up for my business, I'm serving women. I happen to serve a lot of Black and brown women, and that matters, in a space where, to be very honest, in the space that I'm in, typically when you see pre and postnatal fitness experts and wellness coaches, they don't look like me. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of sick of it, because I'm like, no shade. I think women are great, but something worse than people saying, oh, women uplift women, and the Black women are left over here in the corner,
in the back.
Just a little squares, right? So if it's going to be women, make sure you address us. And so for me personally, I had to get over my fear of being out in the open, not like being public and really being on social media and being very visible, because I'm not the kind that likes being the camera, but it doesn't matter. My mission is more important than that. So I take pride in the fact that, as a Black woman, as a Black mother, as a Black entrepreneur, I belong here. And I know that our spaces tend to get kind of small when we give these specializations, but I'm here to take up space. And also, moms need this. Whenever I find myself saying, maybe I need to, no, there are Black and brown moms right now who are looking for a Black woman who are saying, look, I want to support your business. I need somebody that looks like me, or, not all my clients are Black. Like, look, we want to support other Black women. And so it's not just a cute trend. It's like, this is real. People want to support Black business owners. And so it's like, I have to show up and do that. And I just want to normalize this space for Black women, for women of color, for women of different sizes and shapes. You know, again, when I see pre-postnatal fitness, I just constantly see kind of the same face image. You know, nothing wrong with it. Again, if you're an expert, cool, but we have a Black maternal health crisis here right now in the United States, and we need more Black people at the forefront. So this is great that women are talking about it, but we're the Black experts, you know, we're women of color. So to me, I just think about taking up space. And again, this is all about really just breaking some barriers. Like just wherever the glass is, let's shatter it, because we got work to do.
Yes. Take up all the space, because I know I was looking for you and I did not find you until after I was done with my, I mean, of course I'm never done, but you know, I was in that postpartum state. I was definitely looking for someone, and I ended up, I mean, like you said, she was great and she helped me, but you know, it's just not the same. So
again, you got to get what you need. Like I said, it's just sometimes, you know, I get a DM sometimes, people are like, oh my God, I'm so glad I found you. I've been looking for a Black woman to talk about this. And I'm like, oh, I was like, people are out here looking like, you know, again, there's experts everywhere, especially now social media, there's experts everywhere. They're like, there's so many, but like, I had never seen one brown person, or I had never seen one Black person. And it's like, that is important. We already know representation matters. And of course, now are trying to do their whole diversity thing, but no, this is really important, where women, again, if it's an actual diverse group and women are seen, as one thing, but most of the time when you're going to birthing centers and birthing classes, when you're in a maternal space, unless it's an actual Black maternal health event, for example, typically we're never really even included in the discussion, or we just kind of just sit there quietly and act like we're not the only Black person in the room. Right. So it's really important for me to say, like, no, we're here. This is our space. Like, you know, if you're gonna say something, make sure you include all of us. You know, like, all lives matter means all people. That means us too. You know, so let's just again, let's shatter the glass. Let's break these barriers down and make sure that Black women are not only heard and seen, but we can take up space. And you know, we're here.
Yes, we are here, and I love it. Yes, I'm so glad that I found your business and your coaching program. I was very, very excited when I did. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me and reaching out and taking time to invite me on your platform. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. So before we go, please tell our viewers where they can find you.
Absolutely. So my personal page is at Coach Mom Wife Life. That's at Coach Mom Wife Life with underscore in between. The business page, where you can see all my clients and their transformations, is at J2M Fitness. J2M Fitness.
All right. And you know where else you can find her? Bydefault.com. You know, it was important. Yes, we have products by Black-owned businesses, but it was important for me to include services as well, because I really want to provide Black-owned businesses that cater to the Black community, that help us live our best complete lives. And that includes things like fitness. It's not just that we need hair products and makeup and all that stuff. We need to have everything for our whole being. And, you know, it was really important to me to find businesses like yours, because like we said, people are looking for you. So I am very glad that you are part of our business tribe.
Yes, like I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, so that is it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.